Alrighty. We made it to Friday. Look at this. The Friday podcast. The Friday morning podcast. Alright. I have made a bunch of these. Of me talking and stuff. But today I have the car. So I went in the car. I'm going to talk in the car because I want to see if there's going to be a difference. Oh my god, it's hot. Oh my god. In me recording from the car because I have so much more privacy. But is it good to run a car for that long?
Waiting for Perry.
Oh, shoof. Air out the car, maybe. Alright. I'll run the car for a second. And then my mother-in-law said that if you open the side, you could let out some of the hot, the hot air because heat rises. Who knows? There's that movie Wind Rises, Miyazaki movie Wind Rises. I didn't like it as much as the others. No. Anyway. So it's Friday, stream day. I'm gonna do some streaming. Let's talk about something. Let's actually talk about something here. Rather than me just sit here and be like, it's hard to podcast. It's just so hard. I just can't stand it. Nobody listens to my podcast. Well, who cares? I don't care. You think I care? I don't care about that. I don't care. I'm a man with a plan to record a podcast. I have this topic here. Look at this. Getting a podcast done with a friend. Getting anything done with friends. I spent years trying to get stuff done with my friends, and it is impossible. It is so hard to get some stuff done with your friends, and it is very difficult. Why is it hard to get stuff done with your friends? Your friends probably don't want to do what you want to do. You ever try scheduling a hangout? I can't be the only one who's looked at their friends and be like, guys, let's shoot a movie. And then everybody's like, yeah, woo! We're gonna shoot a movie. We're gonna shoot it. Shoot a movie. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make this thing happen. And then it never does. Oh, we're gonna start a band. We talked about it for a long time. Now we're gonna do it. We're doing it. And then nothing happens at all. And you wonder, like, why is it that nothing is happening? And that nothing happens. And then I would just see these people, and then I was like, let's do something. I couldn't, for a long time, I couldn't even get my friends to do anything but stand around in parking lots. This is like how I spent every break home from college. Like, let's stand in this parking lot. Let's stand here. The more people you have involved, the harder it is to get anything done. It's very difficult. And when I do this thing every year, I did a video about it. We record an album every year, and we got one song out of it that we really liked, and we put it on the internet on Spotify and Apple Music, and it's everywhere now. Yeah. And Not many people I know like it. But me and my buddy like it. So that's cool. And so we write this album every year. We do it just me and him. And actually we had a couple other guests involved, which made it really, really work. But it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for me and him even doing the project at all to begin with. So, but it's very hard to get things done with friends. It's hard to be like, let's start a company. Let's do this. Let's do that. You could barely get friends to hang out at the same time. Like, see your friends. Like, see them. Okay, let's call each other. You ever try doing that? Hey, let me call you. Guys, let's talk. Let's see each other. Every month, we'll see each other. And then people are like, oh, well, I'm busy and I gotta. Well, today my parents told me that we're going to the mall, and I'm like, and then you say, well, dude, you are 30 years old, so how did you not know your parents were going to tell you you were going to the mall today? And they say nothing because they started ignoring your text messages from there on and out. And I know that it's very hard to consistently do things with friends, to make something happen with friends. But it's possible with a friend who you set the intentions with what's going to happen, right? And I think the key to it is not getting a lot of people involved, is minimizing the amount of people involved to that effect. And it's way more fun to do something with someone. Like, it'd be so much probably more fun to do this podcast with a friend. But it would also be harder in some ways because I have to need my friend here to be like, and then they could respond to you and I wouldn't have to just talk. And at least he is entertained by it. Right? Okay, we're not going to talk about the zero listener stuff. We're talking about why it's hard to do stuff with your friends. It's hard because a lot of times they don't want to do what you want to do. A lot of times they have a lot of other stuff going on. You're adding a lot of environmental variables here to getting something done. Let's make a game. I'm a programmer. You program it. You write a book. Let's write a story. Let's do that. Let's do this. It's very difficult. It's way less fun to do things alone. But sometimes you do something and you're like, wow, I'm glad that I did this alone and not with other people. It's funny. It's like when I started like improv, it's like, oh, this is fun. I'm playing off everybody else. It's not like stand-up. You got to go up. You got to come up with your own stuff. But I was like, oh, wow. But I missed this entire shot to like talk about stuff from my perspective, and like now it's like filtered through every other single person here. Now that everybody else is gonna have their say, and they may not want to have my say, and they may not have the same goals as me to say this thing and be but whatever. The point is, it's hard to get people to do something. It's hard to get people to agree on anything. Oh, where do we go out to dinner? I don't know. And you say where you want to go, and you're like, dude, you can't make the decision for everybody. It's like, well, like, at least I made a decision, because you're not. It's hard. And people have goals, and they don't have the same goals as you, and stuff, and a lot of people don't want to do what you want to do. And then the problem is, here's the problem, and I don't have a solution, is that it's not as fun to do something alone, but then you end up doing it alone, right? And then you're like, oh, I gotta do this alone. Okay, I'll do it alone. But the fun idea was to have something fun and cool to do with your friends. But you end up having to do it alone. It's interesting, and I think that things are good to do things. If you think that you want to do something creative, and you think you're going to wait till your friends are free to help you, guess what? Go have a lot of not fun and do it alone, and then get it done. And then nobody will ever know it exists, because it's impossible in this world. It's very hard in this world to get anybody to look at what you've made. So we're back to the zero. We're back to the zero listener thing. Is it good? Is it bad? My whole thing is that it's less fun to probably do this podcast than it would be to do it with a friend. Am I more animated? Woo! I'm so animated. I'm zany. I'm crazy. I'm just crazy. I'm crazy. Now that I have this space alone to do this little podcast, is it better? Is it good for me to still do it? And even though I don't have my friends here, and even though it would be way more fun to talk to a friend or talk to someone and bounce ideas off, of course it will. Am I possibly getting better at talking about stuff? Who knows, right? All I know is that if you want to get something freaking done, right, you don't invite every other person to help you, right? And you just make it happen with as little people as possible and as little pushy people as possible. People who are willing to be subordinate to your view of what you want, or people who are easy to work with, right? And you minimize it. You don't, too many cooks spoil the pan, spoil the food, you know? And that's how I feel. I think that things get mishmashed. It's like, you know, you have a trio in music, and me and my friends used to say, like, nobody ever in a trio ever breaks up. Rarely. Then Blink-182 broke up, and it kind of threw that off. But that tight trio can accomplish so much. A tight trio. Trio? The word is trio, John. You better get it right. I'm so zany. You know, they could get a lot done because they're just hitting those core things. They got their bassist, they got their guitarist, they got the drummer. Boom! They are hitting all parts of the spectrum of sound. And they got two people who could sing and do it. And, you know, it's like, whoa, they got three people who possibly can. Wow, they could get a lot done. Tight trio is really great. They don't have, like, 100 people up there. Getting an orchestra done can be real. An orchestra is really beautiful, right? But orchestras are really... What's the difference between an orchestra and, like, a punk trio, right? An orchestra has so many people. It's so many people, and they're so well directed. The music is written very tightly. They practice a lot. Everybody's skilled at what they specifically do, and they perform their function, right? And it creates something very beautiful, right? But that's a very, very tightly controlled environment. Is each person creating? Do you really experience individuality with orchestra? No, but they're all giving into the whole to create something amazing, right? Like a film production, right? There's so many people that are involved in it, and it creates something amazing. But what about like just a skit on YouTube where a guy just records himself talking to himself? Like that amazing guy, one of them, Pro ZD, Jeffrey? I don't know. He's funny too. And like, how personal and great is that? Creative, interesting, and you see, this is the difference between something that's created by a group and something that's created by very few, and even individuals. And there's so many examples of this. You know, what the difference between things that are created by mass groups and things that are created by just one person. And it's a very interesting topic, actually. Like, we could probably talk about it for a while. Like, oh, look, you have certain bands that are huge, involve a lot of instruments. A lot of these newer indie bands, they're not new. They've been around for like 5 years, John. You get used to it. Get used to it. Just get used to it. Get it. Do you get it? It is interesting, though. I think that to run a tight ship, for me, it's easier to just at least do something on my own. To just try it on my own, try to do something on my own, and then try to be like, I really can't do this on my own. I really need help doing this thing, and then do that with another person. People have so much else going on with them and so many other interests. So, yeah. It's very hard to get stuff done with a group of friends. Because people just want to chillax. People want this. People want this. People want that. And you have to always go with the lowest common denominator everybody wants, and that's, maybe to talk. I don't know. You tell me. Why don't you tell me? Huh? Anyway. It was fun talking on this thing, talking from the car, joshing around. It's Friday. Maybe I'll record from the stream from my phone today. Do a podcast from the phone. I don't know. I'm hungry. I didn't eat breakfast when I ate breakfast. That wasn't a good idea. Why didn't you eat breakfast, John? Why didn't you do it? Huh? Why didn't you do that? I don't like that.